Hi, Dave here from Pewcentric, the marketplace for firearms enthusiasts just like you discover unique gear, services, and training. Basically, everything but the guns. Pewcentric Spotlight is our ongoing series of deep dives into new and unique listings available right now on the Pewcentric marketplace. And today we're taking a closer look at the Edge Grip by MagMo. You know, Mo's been making these grips for a few years now, and he's creeping up on almost 1,000 satisfied customers, not just in the US, but around the world, including myself. And that's actually how I met Mo in the beginning before I even launched Pewcentric. We hope to get Mo in an upcoming episode of Inside the Pew to get his backstory, which is actually really interesting. But today we're going to be focusing on his signature product, the Edge Grip. And I think the best way to really show how this Edge Grip is really unique and different is to really take you on a journey through the evolution of my own choices for grips on my Shadow 2, which I use for competitive shooting. And of course, it all starts with the grips that come with the pistol, the iconic blue metal Shadow 2 grips, which look fantastic but are quite possibly the worst grips I've ever felt on a pistol. This is true of everyone, whether you're in competition or not, but especially if you're focused on practical shooting at speed. You want to have something that bites you back as well as really fills the hand so you get a thorough grip on the pistol. Which then leads to, well, just replace those. There's plenty of aftermarket options, especially for the Shadow 2. And that leads to a great option by Lock Grips, these G10 grips. Now, in this case, they have the same profile, thin, almost identical in terms of the footprint and shape. Instead of being made out of metal, they're made out of G10, and they have this texture that's much grippier on them. And again, very easy to install. Just unscrew the blue grips, screw these on. Problem being, you have a little bit more texture, but you still don't have the grip that you really want. It's not enough texture, in my opinion. But number two, it's not conforming to the shape of your hand, so there's a lot of voids and spaces when you're gripping onto the pistol. So that leads to another fantastic option from Lock Grips, and they make this in a variety of materials, but for those in the competitive shooting world, you see a lot of these. These are made out of brass. Now, as you can see, the thickness is completely different, even from their own G10 offering, and much thicker than the OEM grips that come with the pistol. And that's because it has this palm swell. You can see it's not just a hump, it's kind of this curve that conforms to the shape of your hand, so that when you're holding the pistol, this kind of goes into the void in your hand and gives you much more to grab onto. Now, obviously, this is a matter of personal choice, but it is a very popular choice among shooters. You can get these in black or just the unfinished brass. You can see my brass one here is hollow, so it's not as heavy as this fully solid black one. So you have lots of choices, and you even have choices of texture. They have something called a lockjaw, which is excessively, at least for me, grippy. It's actually painful to shoot with those, but a lot of people love that option too. And Lock Grips makes fantastic solutions, not just for the Shadow 2, but lots of pistols. So, and I use this for many years with my Shadow 2. But then I started noticing some folks in the competitions that I was going to having something that looked completely different. It just completely caught my eye. And it's like, that's not a palm swell. That looks like a ledge on your pistol. And then I started hearing about it on Reddit. And that led me to contacting MagMo, the creator of these Edge grips. Now you can see I happen to have one that's made for the support hand on my left hand, and this is the grip that he makes for the strong hand. So these, just like these Lock Grip options, completely just screw on to the standard Shadow 2, but the configuration and geometry is completely different. This is not a palm swell. This is, as the name suggests, a ledge or an edge that you can really grip onto. And let me show you even the difference in the thickness to drive home that point. Okay, if we look here at the thickest part of the OEM grip. We're talking 0.22 inches. I suspect that's the same for the G10s. Yeah, this is 0.23. Negligible difference. We're looking at these. Again, it depends on where you measure, but basically the highest point here is 0.37. So significantly, taller than the OEM grips. So we're talking 0.34, 0.37, 0.37. On these, we're talking 0.5, 0.51, and I'm probably not even measuring it at the highest point. You can definitely see the difference when you hold them up back to back. This is the edge grip, and this is the lock grip. Now, that isn't to say, well, this one is bigger than this one, so therefore the edge is better just because it's thicker. That really has almost nothing to do with it. He didn't set out to create the thickest, grip panel for the Shadow 2 and all the other 25 plus, pistols that MagMo supports. So as you can see here, I have my trusted, tried and true Shadow 2 that I use in Carry Optics Division for USPSA competitive shooting. And I'm rocking the lock grips in brass and black on both sides. And I mean, this is great. No complaints. But because I'm so used to using the MagMo grip, I'm kind of expecting more of a ledge here. And you'll see that in a second. So it conforms to the hand. It gives you a more aggressive texture and allows me to lock in the pistol. Okay. So, with that, how can we improve upon this? Well, if you're trying to fight recoil, recoil is coming back and up based on physics. Check out the 1 million other videos that explain how recoil happens in a pistol. So it's push back and up. So a lot of what we're all trying to do is improve our grip technique, our grip strength or balance of strength, or maybe less strength, depending on how well you're shooting. I tend to put too much power into my strong hand, which doesn't help me on any build drills, but basically trying to have that right balance of strength locking out the wrist and having the right contact points. You want the maximum contact with the gun. But I always felt like, man, I wish there was something, like if this is a surface that I'm trying to hold on to, man, I wish there was something I could have that would allow me to hold on more than just the friction on the grip. Like, I wish there was something here. You see, I have my strong hand really covering the back of the pistol. So the only thing that my support hand, which for me, and the way I grip the gun, provides the majority of the strength on holding the pistol, I have to rely on friction. I wish I had something that I could really bite onto, like an actual wedge. Now, that's the same idea that Mo had. So as you can see, it's super easy to change out these grips. It's one screw, the pop right off. I'm going to pop on the edge grip by MagMo. There you go. And then we're done. Installation complete. That is about as a simple and fast improvement that you can make for your pistol with a huge benefit. Now, what do you see? Well, one, my fingers fit into that pocket perfectly. Is that an accident? No. Because when you order these, you have to send in a photo of you holding the pistol you're going to use with the hand you're going to use, and he builds it exactly to your specification. So people have different size fingers, guns, everything, and that sizing photo allows him to make this a unique product for you. So this is built for me. So that's one. Two, I now have this huge ledge that I've always wanted to hold on to. So imagine if you're like holding on a cliff. You don't just want to have friction to hold on to. You actually want something to lip over and hold. Well, that's what this is doing for me. So not only am I getting really good texture, and you can order these in 5 different textures from, concealed carry friendly to very aggressive. So, but you have this ledge, and this has really made a difference for me in terms of keeping the gun flatter, allowing me to apply more pressure, because it's really more of a squeeze front to back than it is a squeeze side to side. I can get not just the side to side, but the front to back pressure, at least for my level of technique and grip strength. As you can see here, I have the edge grip that we just installed, but I'm keeping the lock grip in brass on the other side. I like the way this fills my hand. I don't need an edge on this side. I like the weight of the brass. I do want a heavy gun. That's my preference in competitive shooting. So this combination works great. I will say that I hear rumors that Mo may be working on a next generation of these that give you an option to maybe have them in a heavier configuration. He's always constantly improving the formula for making the grips, the geometry, and the materials. So stay tuned for that. So as you can see, it's even more obvious than when I was holding them back to back. This is the lock grip. It's got a great palm swell here. But look at this beefy edge on this side. This is absolutely a ledge, an edge that you can hold on to and apply that back to front pressure to really hold on to that grip. That's made a huge difference for me in terms of my speed. And the way that the grip is designed, like all aftermarket grip options for pistols, it doesn't really interfere with holstering. I mean, it doesn't really come anywhere close to interfering with how the holster would work. And I've tried this in all of my Shadow 2 holsters, and it fits absolutely perfectly. Big shout out to Black Mammoth Holsters, another amazing seller in the Pewcentric marketplace, the maker of this awesome competition style holster for the Shadow 2. We'll be seeing Black Mammoth holsters in an upcoming installation of Pewcentric Spotlight, so stay tuned for that one. So what do I feel are the main advantages of this type of an aftermarket grip or grip enhancement? Well, one, first and foremost, it's got the perfect name. That edge gives you a leverage point to really not only give you a point with which to provide more pressure, but really applies that pressure in the front to back direction where it's often hard to do so. 2, it gives you a pocket for your fingers. You can imagine if you didn't have this pocket, when you close the support hand around your fingers, there's going to be a void. There's going to be a pocket that you can't completely close because your fingers here raise up your hand here. That's not true at the edge. Your fingers fall into this pocket and completely fall in almost perfectly inside the pocket, and you get more contact with the pistol. More contact with the pistol gives you better control of it. People use gas pedals and thumb rests differently and have different theories on whether they are great or not. But for those who do, it provides a consistent index point for your hands. And I believe that the edge gives you that consistent index feel. I know when my strong hand is settled into position because it fits perfectly into that spot and it slides it into that spot. And I know when I'm locked in that pistol on my support hand. It really provides consistent indexing for this grip that I really haven't experienced with any other type of grip configuration. And MagMo is not only providing a solution that's customized to your hand and your pistol, he takes it further. You basically can have the texture that you want. That's something that's friendly for everyday carry, all the way to something that's aggressive for competition shooting and everything between. You can pick which sides you want, both sides, one side. Do you want to have the edge? Do you want to have a traditional palm swell? Do you want to have a flat? Do you want to have personalization on the back with your name? Do you want art embedded into your grip? You have a lot of options, but he makes them quickly. He sends them out quickly. And that's really leads to the fifth advantage. MagMo is completely, like all Pewcentric sellers, really focus on customer service. And that's really distinguishes the Pewcentric community, is that attention to listening to customers, to constantly improving the product, and what they do when something, if and when, goes wrong with the product. Now, I, truth be told, had an issue with one of these where it cracked a little bit in the front, probably because I over tightened it and I didn't follow the directions. So probably user-induced error. And it bowed in a little bit and made it hard for me to insert and extract my magazines. As soon as I figured out what was happening, I reached out to Mo, and without hesitation or delay, he immediately sent me multiple replacements. He is obsessed with customer satisfaction, hearing from customers, and is constantly refining the product and taking all that feedback in as he continues to make new iterations of these edge grips and as he builds out support for more models and, again, new innovations that go into the grips themselves. And each solution is tailored to each type of pistol. In the case of a Shadow 2, it goes right where the OEM grips go. But if you're looking at a Walter, this is not a Walter, but it's kind of a 3D print of the bottom half of a Walter, you can see that it's a wraparound. Basically goes all the way from the left to the right, and those wraparounds are exceptionally popular on Pewcentric. You have stick-ons, and those can go even on top of grit. And by the way, this grit job brought to you by 71 Creative, another amazing Pewcentric seller. And check out the video here where I actually applied and did this DIY grit kit for the grip, and turned out fantastic. But if I want that ledge, all I have to do is stick it on top right there. The marriage of two amazing Pewcentric products in one shot. I can already tell that this will give me, I already have the texture that I want here. What I'm missing is the leverage point, and this gives me that leverage point. And these stay on, I mean, these are tried and tested in the field and work fantastic. And I love the edge grips so much that I not only have them on my actual Shadow 2, I have it, of course, on my Shadow 2 handsets from 71 Creative, another amazing seller on Pewcentric, the maker of that grit kit that you saw earlier. And we actually did an Inside the Pew interview as well as a Pewcentric Spotlight. So check out 71 Creative on the shop. But we're here to talk about the edge grip. So just like on the regular pistol, because Chris over at 71 makes such a solid product, it feels just like, and goes on just like it would on a regular Shadow 2. Just tighten that down. Beautiful. It's on there solidly. And so now when I'm practicing, I have the same exact feel as I have when I'm using my competition pistol. Practically the same weight, of course, but the same grip. So when I'm practicing from the holster, nothing changes. So buy two pairs. So when it comes to me and a growing number of folks, we're going to ditch the traditional grip and put an edge grip on all of our pistols, from our everyday carry to our competition guns. So if you're interested in getting edge grips for your own pistols, whether they're everyday carry to competition pistols and everything in between, make sure to check out MagMo and Pewcentric at www.pewcentric.com/mag-mo. Links are below in the description. And as always, please like and subscribe and comment below. It really helps drive engagement for the Pewcentric community. And we look forward to seeing you next time.